My fellow Americans, we face an issue today in America. It is known as homeschooling. Hi, I'm Shawn and I'm going to be talking to you not in that voice, but in this one, and I'm going to be talking about homeschooling and why it is a good thing and how some of the stereotypes are not true. Alright, so what I'm going to be going over today is what homeschooling is, the stereotypes of homeschooling, the benefits of homeschooling, some statistics, and then the cons of homeschooling. So what is homeschooling? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines it as to teach your children at home instead of sending them to a school. However, there's another definition, which is we're scared of the world, so we're going to stay home. It's really that simple. Now, there is a difference between homeschooled and homeschoolers. Homeschooled means you are educated at home, but you still have all of the social abilities as normal people. Homeschoolers are the stereotypical homeschooler people, which means you are very interesting. We'll say. So some of the stereotypes, and I'll talk about which ones are true or not. Let's go over those now. So one is that we as homeschoolers don't have any social life or social skills. That is false. We can still talk to other people, we can still make relationships, we still have friends and things like that. We still meet with people outside of school. We still do all those things, just like a normal person does. Second is that we're all weird. That one's true. Another one is that we don't go outside. I don't know where that came from. Yes, we go outside. Another one is that we are extremely organized. No, not all of us. Our rooms still get messy. Another one is that we wake up early. We definitely do not. We like to sleep in late because that is one of the benefits of not having to get up early. Another is that we're all Amish and we raise chickens. We don't do that. Another is that we are extremely religious. Yes, most of us are extremely religious, not extremely, but we like our faith and we support it and we know what it is. Another is that kids are either angels or devils. Yes. Another is that every homeschool family either has a lot of kids or they have only one kid. That's not true either. My family has 3 kids. That's not a lot, it's not a little, it's a decent amount. Pretty normal. Another is that we play video games all day. Only after schoolwork is done, yes, we play video games. So what are the benefits of homeschooling? First of all, you don't have to get up early. You can wake up at 10, like my sister does, and then get all your schoolwork done in 4 hours. And then you still have the second part of your day to do whatever you want. Second is that normally you're getting a higher education than you would in the public school system. And that's because you can research things more deeply. It's because you have all this time to do other things. You can go learn how to do this, how to work on a vehicle, how to do the best physical activity that you can. And we have all this extra time for sports as well. And so we are able to do all those other things that everyone else is able to do, just a little more intended. Another benefit is that we have a very flexible schedule. So if we wanted to work in the morning, there was a time where I would work in the morning from 9 to 12, and then I would go home and I would do my schoolwork after that. And that worked fine. So I was working and I was doing my schoolwork and I was getting it all done. That was great. We have more free time because we can get our schoolwork done so much faster because we don't have to sit in class for an hour and then go to the next class for an hour. It's, okay, if you finish it in 15 minutes, move on to the next subject. It's not difficult. Another is that we are protected from harmful influences from schools. So there are no drugs, there is no other bad influences. Cussing is very forbidden, we'll say. So it is just a very protective environment. Also, we have extremely high moral standards. We get to go out on adventures. So my mother would actually take us downtown whenever we were homeschooled. Because my dad worked out of town, so we would go and we would see him, and we would be able to go through the tunnels downtown and explore. Did y'all know they have tunnels downtown? Under downtown? Yeah, those are awesome. Also, it is more cost efficient. It is cheaper to get the textbooks for homeschool. Also, kids will get more personal attention from the parents because you're homeschooling. And it allows you to be around your family more. So some statistics are, in 2012, 1.77 million students, or 3.4% of the population, were homeschooled. That was an 18% increase from 2007. And that's from timeforlearning.com. So some cons are, we're not exposed to as many things. We have a different sort of view of the world because we haven't experienced it as much. And it can be somewhat stressful being around your family that whole time. So now I've gone over what homeschooling is, stereotypes, benefits, statistics, and the cons. Thank you.
Any questions for Shawn? Any questions?
The typical stereotypes that you have mentioned are the ones that I've heard as well. How does that make you feel knowing that you have been through homeschool and now you're successfully out? How does that make you feel about those stereotypes?
I think they're fun. I mean, we will make jokes all the time about, and I used to live in Corpus, and the stereotype down there is that homeschoolers were dumber. And so it's like, yeah, we're dumber. That's why we score higher on the ACT.
Yeah.
And we would make jokes about that, and we play around with all this stuff. You can't take it too heavily because you can't change what people think.
What age did you start here at Lone Star?
Here at Lone Star, 15.
Because you're homeschooled, that's why. What's up? Air fryer.
Yeah.
I started at 16.
Yes.
Was there ever a time that you were being homeschooled that you wish you did go to a
No.
There was one
I was
time
homeschooled too.
when I was curious what it was like to go to a school, and I actually got to visit my family up in New Hampshire and do school along the way, which was really cool. But not the doing school part, but being able to go and see my family, and I actually got to go to school with them and see what it was like. So that I came back from that, and I was like, okay, well that's that, but I like being homeschooled. Because me and my friends would hang out all day after school. It's pretty fun. Yes.
You said there was a difference between homeschool and homeschoolers. And is it that the homeschoolers give you a bad rap? Because I have had students that were as young as 13 in my classroom, and they really did not have social skills.
Yes,
it was a problem.
Homeschoolers are the ones, and I should have clarified this, homeschoolers are the ones that are the stereotypes. They are the reasons we have those stereotypes, is that don't go too far from mom, don't interact with other people, they're scary, stuff like that. Yeah. Yes.
Did your parents ever send you to public school?
They did not.
So you never attended a public school before?
I have not. I've been to one. Whenever I visited my cousins in New Hampshire, I got to go to school with them and see how that was and how it was done. I went to preschool, but that doesn't really count.
Were your parents on school as well?
No, they were not. They were not. It's,
I've known a bunch of different people who have been homeschooled, and were your parents the actual teachers, or did you go on the computer program?
I've never done a computer program, however, it was all textbook and video, and my mom would teach us in the beginning, and then as we got older, She learned that we could teach ourselves. So she would say, here's a textbook, read these pages, and then go do your homework. So that's how we did it more recently. For my math, there was a video you would watch for the lesson, and then all throughout the week you would work on the homework. And practice it, and review, things like that. And at the end of the week you would have a test. And then next week you would repeat the same process.
Do you know why your parents decided to homeschool you?
Because in Corpus, we have a very bad educational system. The public schools were not the best, not known for our nice people. The high schools actually had childcare for, right, for the high schoolers. But then there was weird rules with that, and my mom didn't support it, so it was just better if we homeschooled. Any other questions? All right, thank you for your time.
This is not mine.
Yeah.
So how many other homeschoolers do we have here in the room? Kalina, anybody else?
No, we're the weirdos, okay.
Yeah,